So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. Coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
Pushing till I fall, I'm slipping together.
smile when I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys. Happy Friday, October 11th. Mediocre. How you doing, amigo?
Doing pretty good. You?
Doing swell. I had most of the day off today. It is my uncle's 80th birthday weekend. Happy birthday. So I have family in town. My dad's in town. And we went out to the country and had at my aunt's house and had a lunch and a little family get together. And there's some more activities planned over the weekend.
Well, happy birthday to your uncle.
Thank you. My wife came out with us. My youngest son and his girlfriend came. They're headed up to Dallas for the Longhorn OU game this weekend. So I'm glad they were able to stop by. Big rivalry football game up in Dallas. The Texas Longhorns versus OU. That's always a big thing for the kids on campus.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of work. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the markets. A little bit. I might have been peeking on my phone while we were having lunch. But I wanted to just do a quick live stream tonight. We're trying to get a movie in later tonight, Mediocre. Terrifier 3. Did you know about Terrifier? Yeah. It's almost sold out, which is good. And I was looking through all the movies that were available this evening, the new ones like the Pharrell Lego movie. I think the late night showing had 1 seat. I didn't check the earlier ones, but Terrifier for the late night showing almost sold out. That movie's going to do really good this weekend for a low budget film.
I hope so. We could really use the
we need one. We need at least one, right? I bet it will outdo Joker this weekend. Terrifier 3.
That's unexpected.
Low budget, gonna kill it. But as I was peeking at my phone, I saw that there, was another insider sale, and I kind of, we didn't really talk about this much. I posted it in the Discord the other day when there was one, and then there was a second one today. And so we're just going to talk about that real briefly, because if you've been following my channel, you guys know that I said after we didn't pay enough attention to the AMC insider sales back in 2021, that we would never not talk about it.
Yeah.
We would always talk about it. Now, it's up to you guys to decide if it is important to you or not. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I want to just talk about the sales and who's selling and why, and was it tax related or not. If this was tax related, Mediocre, related to the vesting of RSUs, I wouldn't even mention it.
I know.
And if it was a pre-scheduled sale, as what is it, the 10B51 or 105B1, whatever it is. Yeah. If it was a scheduled sale as part of a plan, I wouldn't mention it. I have like this hierarchy of green flag, yellow flag, red flag. If it's for covering taxes on vested units, that's a green flag. Everybody gets a pass on that. because you got to pay the taxes, and it's normal. I mean, when I was in the corporate world, I got vested stock options, and when I exercised them, I would check a box to withhold the taxes from my granted shares. That's very, very normal stuff. No one should worry about if they're paying withholding out of granted shares. That's just how it's done. I mean, you could pay cash, but why would you? If it was part of a pre-scheduled plan, I might also give that a green flag, maybe a yellow flag. But when I start seeing unscheduled insider sales, I'm going to say you should at least pay attention to it, and you can make your own judgment. People are going to say, and I've even said myself, maybe they have expenses. You know, maybe they're buying a new boat, mediocre. Maybe they're buying a second home in Vail.
That's right.
Maybe they've got kids' college tuition to pay.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not here to cast judgment on anybody selling. You're given the shares as an executive as part of your compensation package, and you have every right to sell them.
Tony, are you pocket watching the insiders, Tony?
No, I'm never going to be an executive pocket watcher. However, as an investor,
that's right.
As a content creator, I think it is important that we at least talk about it and make sure that the right info is out there. And then whatever decision you guys decide to make about the importance of it, that's up to you. It doesn't matter to me how you think about it. We're just going to make sure you have the info, and then you can decide. For many of y'all, it'll be a non-event, and that's fine with me. I'm not here to scare anybody out of a play, but we're not going to ignore it either.
Yeah, right. Like, it's there that they have to file for a reason, right? They have to inform their shareholders. So you should be informed as a shareholder of the company.
Yep.
You just don't talk about it because you don't like the information. The information is what it is, right? Just, you got to talk about what it is. That's all.
Let's put up that screen, mediocre, and then we'll get to y'all's questions. Thank you and feel free to drop questions in the chat. Let me see if I can put this screen up here. Stop that one, and let's put up, where is my market chameleon? There it is. All right, this one. All right, mediocre. Here's what we're looking at. We got some new, I'm trying out this new beta on Restream, mediocre. We got that. I think, it's a new layout, but I think that's not as easy to read. If people want to see our ugly faces, we could be down here still. Yeah. We could be over here. But let's just put this up on the screen so everybody, it's a little easier for them to read. What we're talking about here is, let's see. This is Ryan Cohen. I don't want to look at that one. Hang on. Let me get back on the right page.
There you go.
Let me get back on the right page here.
Fix this up, Tony. Fix this right up. Yeah, it wasn't Ryan Cohen. Ryan Cohen hasn't sold any shares.
No. We were making sure we weren't raising a yellow flag over nothing before we. All right, insider trades. Here we go. Share screen. That's the one. All right. These two, October 7th, Daniel Moore, who is the principal financial officer, not the CFO. They have a PFO, which is I guess, not as prestigious as the CFO, but essentially the same role. And then we have Mark Robinson, who is the general counsel. And we had October 7th and October 10th. And was some question, and I think it's fair to ask, were these related to taxes? Mr. Heyman had a tax sale on October 2nd, and Mr. Moore had a tax sale on October 2nd also. And we could just look at the filings for one of these, just so you know what I'm looking at. In the footnotes down here in green, I'm not going to blow this up, but I'm just going to read it. It says represents shares sold to cover applicable withholding taxes in connection with vesting of RSUs. So that is the standard one that we don't worry about. These were both filed on October 2nd, 1-2. But then today and yesterday, I think it was when the other one got filed, we had these two. Now, the quantity here, mediocre, is not a lot.
Yeah.
2,300 shares at $21.50. It says represents the weighted average price. These shares were sold in multiple transactions between 21.50 and 21.51. And there's nothing here about taxes. So I just want to always direct you guys to read the green footnotes.
He just wanted some cash, Tony.
And then Mr. Robinson, his was a little bit more. He sold 11,000 shares and between 2076 and 2103. So those are the two filings. The other thing that we were talking about before we came live, we were looking at Mr. Robinson over the last, let's go back to October of 2023, a year ago, mediocre.
Yeah.
Over here in the far right column, you can see he had 81,000 shares.
Yeah.
He's dropped all the way down here in the far right column now to only 43,000 shares. So he's effectively sold off half his holdings.
Why is he doing that, Tony?
I mean, that's for people to make up their own mind. Do you want my opinion? I don't know, mediocre. I'm not him. Everybody has their own reason for selling. But the question is, I think the logical question is, if he thought it was going to 50 or $100, wouldn't he hold?
Yeah, why didn't he? Yeah. I mean, that's a good question.
So you could come up with your whole list. He's got to pay his ex-wife child support. He's got to buy a boat. He's going to go buy a second home. All of those might be true. It doesn't really matter to me. We're not going to sit here and speculate why he's selling. We're just going to clarify that these were sales, and the amount, mediocre, 229,000 notional value, 51,000 notional value. They still have a healthy amount of shares.
Tony, maybe he had family problems at home and needed a new home or something, down payment on a new home.
Mr. Moore still has 34,000 shares. Mr. Robinson still has 43,000. But I do see the trend in Robinson's total share count going down over time. And that's worth noting for whatever reason. The other thing, mediocre and I were looking at, this guy, Nir Patel.
Yeah.
He had a healthy amount of shares, but he was the chief operating officer. I don't know if you guys remember, he got let go a year ago or earlier this year. So that their COO is gone. Their CFO is gone. They've been through 3 CFOs in the last couple of years. And it's just basically Ryan at the top and Mr. Moore, the principal financial officer, and Mr. Robinson, the general counsel. And 2 of them are selling their shares.
Yeah.
Larry Ching has been buying. We were looking at Larry's buys.
Yeah, we did check him.
Let's pull up Larry. He's been buying. He bought at $11 earlier this year in April, and then he bought in July at 24. So I want to be as fair in the coverage here as I can.
Yeah, he bought over 4,000 shares at
24 bucks. Yeah.
So he's buying.
So it's very mixed messages for me, mediocre. Like, how do you decide what is important and what is not?
I don't know. It's weird. So I mean, it's just a conversation so people kind of can see what's going on, and then you know maybe the Ryan Cohen and Larry Chang do have a plan. I don't really know. We'll have to wait and see, right?
I think, the bottom line for me, since I know that I minimized it back in 2021, even in my own mind, mediocre, I wasn't like towing some corporate line, minimizing. In my mind, I was like saying all the same things. Oh, well, yeah, of course they're selling. A lot of their pay comes from granted RSUs. Of course you'd sell when the price is running up. I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever make that mistake again. And I want to make sure, if it's a company that we're actively following or investing in, that we at least have the conversation and then everybody can make up their own minds.
Right. Here's the information and interpret it like how you want to. But it is what it is.
Jimmy says, can he not buy back in? Yeah, you can buy back in at any time, Jimmy, of course. Generally, it is not common for insiders, and I'm talking like all executive officers, it's not common for them to buy. It's much because they're all being granted shares.
Yeah, they're given shares, right?
It's not common to buy. I mean, unless you're in a company which the price is undervalued and you're expecting really good things going forward, then you would probably be buying. I worked for a Fortune 100 company, and I spent every 6 months 10% of my salary buying shares. But I was in a fast growing Fortune 100 company, and without fail, over that 15 years I worked in the corporate world, my shares were growing exponentially, the value of those shares. So it was a good use of my funds, even though I was being granted options, shares, essentially. On top of that, I was still piling money in it because it was one of the fastest growing companies out there at the time. So yeah, you could always buy. But, there were times when I needed money or I was going to buy something, a major purchase, where I would exercise and sell my shares.
I'm not sure what they're getting paid, Tony, but those shares are part of their pay too, aren't they?
Yes.
They're a benefit package. So
yeah. That's why I don't throw them. I don't throw anybody under the bus for selling. And if you think that the price is reaching a local high, that might be a good time to sell. The concern I would have, and I'm not saying this is the motivation here, but the concern I would have if they have some knowledge about the general trajectory of the business, that everybody is a human. You have some motivation to sell. If you're worried about something, maybe it has nothing to do with that. The company that I worked with, when it went public, everybody was granted shares, mediocre. And there was one time shortly after the company went public that they had an inventory issue, and the inventory that they were carrying, because of market conditions, dropped precipitously in value, which was going to wreck the company's financials. And a lot of employees who had been given shares because they were there when the company was private, a lot of them sold out of panic because they knew that bad news was coming. They were insiders. These are just your rank and file employees, right? But we could see what was happening out in the market with inventory prices and the commodities that we were dealing with. And they sold out of human reaction, normal reaction. And so I always keep that in mind. Like, people are motivated by different things depending on what they think or what they know. The sad thing, mediocre, is that if they would have not panicked in that one moment as this fledgling company shifted from private to public and had a stumble, they could have 20,000 x'd the value of those shares if they would have held them for another 15, 20 years. The company, it was a temporary stumble, but it recovered from that and went on to be wildly successful.
Tony, the other thing is I want to bring this up is people are going to say, well, why do we talk about it? Well, we talk about it. I'm just going to tell you the reason why we talk about this stuff and why we look at it and we take it seriously, because there's a other side that doesn't want GameStop to succeed or any other company, right? The ones that we talk about, but we're talking about GameStop right now. There are people out there that don't want the company to succeed. We're not one of them, by the way. But
I invest in GameStop regularly, so
yeah.
of course I want to see it succeed. Now, I'm not a buy and hold GameStop person. I'm more of a swing trader, but I want to see the company succeed.
Right, but there are people out there, Tony, and you can agree with this, that don't want it to succeed. And when they get Form 4s like this, they use that shit against us, right? I mean,
there's two reasons that I want to talk about. Three really. Number one, I have personal direct experience with this stuff, right? I was at one point, I don't know how much I was holding, $1 million worth of granted shares from the company I worked for. I have direct experience with being granted shares and exercising them through this. I was not an insider, so I didn't have to file Form 4s, but the whole experience of owning these shares, having it be part of your compensation, having to elect to sell them and decide if you're going to have taxes withheld. I've lived through all of that. That's one thing. Number two, like Mediocre said, there are people who are going to twist this into a very, very negative sentiment. We're not doing that here. We're just talking about it. Number three, there are going to be people who misconstrue it because they don't want you to have the real information. In other words, the pumper channels. And I saw a lot of that on social media today, people saying this was tax related sales. And I just want to say these were not, unfortunately. The last two transactions were not tax related withholding.
yeah.
Walt says, let's just say we have two paper hands, and we got two paper hands. We got Mark and Daniel, and we got two diamond hands, Larry and Ryan.
Yeah, man, they're hanging on there.
And Larry and Ryan have much more shares than these. So if that's a factor in your decision, let that be a factor. I'm okay with that. I'm not here to tell you guys how to interpret this. We're only talking about it to get the accurate information out. Stockland Trade says maybe they're selling so they can buy AMC.
Oh man.
Oh man, they're trying to piss the chat off now.
Stockman. Oh man. You guys are ruthless in the chat. Wow.
All right, let's see what other comments we have here. Let's go ahead and close this screen for the moment. There he is, Mediocre. JP, what's up? He says, in my opinion, I think that the CEO maybe don't have a plan or a bad plan, and GameStop is a declining business. How do we know, right, JP? I don't know if they have a plan or not. I've said this many times. I'm going to give Ryan Cohen the benefit of the doubt. I like Ryan Cohen. I was and am a Chewy customer. Now he's moved on from Chewy, but I don't think he's a dumb guy. There are people that want to say really, really bad things about Ryan Cohen. I'm not that guy. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. However, while I give him the benefit of the doubt, I still would like to hear something from him. Draw a picture, Ryan. Besides cutting costs, which you've told us, and focusing on digital, which you've told us, and getting to profitability, which you told us, what's the plan with the raising cash? I just think that would be a cool thing if he would share, and maybe he won't. And some of y'all are okay with that. And that's fine with me if you're okay with that. I'm not totally cool with it, but I'm just one guy. It's just my opinion. Is the business declining? I mean, we can all look at the chart of the top line. We can all look at the chart of the revenue. The revenue is without a doubt declining. but the company's done a fantastic job of trimming cost. They aren't generating profits. I hear people twist this. Look at the $500 million swing in profits, guys. Cutting costs is not creating profits. Let's be honest with our audiences, all right? Cutting cost is just cutting cost. It is not generating a swing in profits. I know you got a lot of armchair accountants working from their dad's basement out there trying to tell you guys how to think about this. Cutting cost is not generating profit. A profit is generated when you see a plus on the operating revenue, on the operating income. That's when you got a profit, or on the net income. Pick your metric. GameStop has done an excellent job of cutting costs to cut the losses. That's what they've been doing. They have not been swinging profits. They've been cutting losses, and they've cut them to the point where they're very close to break even operationally. So that is good. And we'll get an update on the next quarter and see how they're doing. But there is a point of diminishing returns where you have a certain amount of fixed cost. And as your revenue is declining, you're going to reach a point of diminishing returns of cutting cost. You've got rents, you've got utilities, insurance, staff, salaries, headquarters, warehouse. It becomes a diminishing return of cost cutting, where at some point the revenue could decline faster than you can cut costs. So to their credit, they've done a fantastic job of trimming things up to getting it close to break even. But they did announce in the latest 10Q that they're going to continue closing stores, likely at a pace faster than previously communicated. If you didn't see that footnote, it's in the latest 10Q. So I interpret that as accelerating store closures. And if they want to go to full digital, that's fine with me. I mean, I'm not in general a fan of brick and mortar businesses. I don't typically invest in them because it's really tough. It's really tough unless you have a wildly successful business. And this business is transitioning to digital.
I hate that, Tony. That's the part I hate the most, because I don't want them to go digital, but they don't have a choice. That's the problem.
Yeah, I personally hate digital media, mediocre. I remember the days. I remember the days of lining up to get my early copy of Call of Duty at GameStop. We were card carrying members. I was in those damn lines. I remember driving through ice storms when nobody would fucking go out because that was the day it was going to be released, and I wanted to get my damn copy.
I know.
I like having the digital. I mean the physical copy, but at some point it shifted, and I had two boys, and we were at GameStop all the time buying stuff, and then one day it just became, Dad, can I borrow your credit card? Why? I'm gonna download a game onto my Xbox.
And I hated that. That I hated too. That's the other part I don't like, Tony, because when that whole digital stuff came out, another reason why I don't like it, my son was probably six years old or so, and I had my card linked to his Xbox, so he can, purchase digital download games, but not without permission. So he did, and I'm like, what the hell are these charges on my card? So I had figured it out, but I'm like, you little shit, that pissed me off.
We have Monkey Tamer 8 Heavy. That's not you, mediocre, right?
No, that's not me.
That's a different Monkey Tamer. He says Tony, grading cards is going to make them a lot of money. You guys know, if you've listened to this channel for a while, I spent a whole week talking to, and I might publish this after GameStop's next earnings. We did an interview with the trading card online seller where we talked about his experience as a seller and things that we should know about the business a lot of insights in that live stream. I still have all the video. I might make it a video and put it out on the channel. I've been to many GameStops and talked to them. I've been to other brick and mortar trading card companies here in town. I spent a lot of time getting to know the business, and I've reached out to some of the bigger entities in the business nationwide. And I will tell you that is my opinion, based on my own DD, that the people that are counting on trading cards to save GameStop are wildly overestimating the impact to GameStop's business. Is it a great niche to go after? Is it good to have extra streams of income? Yes, and yes.
I should
But
say this.
there's a lot of problems that come with that, like the carrying the inventory or having the wrong inventory, and the inventory that you're carrying declining in value if you don't have the right stuff. If nobody wants it and you paid for it as GameStop and no one wants it, the price of that, the value of that inventory declines, right? You bought 4,000 cards and only 1,000 of them are turning. What happens to the other 3,000 out there in the general market?
Should I get this one PSA graded?
Yes, absolutely.
Jerry Rice, baby. Let's see what else I got here.
The other thing is, I think, is getting exaggerated is the margin that GameStop's making. Now, again, any extra revenue is good, but I didn't know you're not only a gamer, you're a trading card collector mediocre.
I don't do shit, Tony.
You are full of surprises, my friend.
These are old cards that I save. You want me to grab some games? Because I'm not a gamer. I can show you all my games.
Well, I said last quarter regarding trading cards that you're not, I mean, people were I heard what the GameStop YouTubers were telling folks. There's going to be massive increase in revenues because of trading cards. That did not happen. The margins did go up. So I want to see one more quarter, and let's find out if the margins are still holding. Maybe it is from trading cards, but
the reason I have them out is because I am thinking about sending them in, to be honest. To see
you should. Hey, did you know that GameStop, breaking news, mediocre, first place that you've heard this, GameStop is thinking about allowing you to bring trading cards directly into them to send them into PSA. Providing a valuable service, because I know it was difficult for you to go to the post office or put it in your mailbox.
I don't know what happened to my camera. It's messed up.
All right. Damn, quit smoking, guys. It's bad for you. Let's see what other chats we got. Do we have any other GameStop questions? Someone just came in. What are we talking about? We're talking about Mark Robinson and Daniel Moore selling a couple shares. So. And just a heads up, make sure you know that it's out there. It might affect your trading strategy. It might not. That's not for me to tell you, but they weren't tax related. And we said, and if you're in my Discord, just so you don't think that I'm shitting on GameStop, if you're in my Discord, you guys know that anytime we're following a stock, any stock, if I see an insider sale, I post it to that room for that stock. So don't think that we're hating on GameStop. It's just something I check for on a regular basis on any stock that we're actively trading or following. And I make sure people know, hey, heads up, here's the info, do with it what you will. And at least you're aware.
Yeah, we don't mess around no more. We look at everything, don't we, Tony? Like,
Absolutely.
How much time did we put in this week on just looking at box office shit? You know what I mean?
Oh man, the amount of time we put in, like doing some next level DD on AMC for the next how long do we go, Mediocre? I'm already looking ahead 14 months.
Yeah.
I'm looking ahead 14 months on the AMC play. And I don't want to talk about that tonight. I don't even know if I want to talk about it till after the earnings. If you're in the Discord, you already know what the topic is. You already know all the DD. I don't know that I already get enough death threats because of the information I provide on this channel. I don't know that we need to talk about my DD about AMC on YouTube. Once the death threat started, I decided, AMC might not be worth covering anymore. Quit covering those damn financial statements or I'm going to show up at your house and shoot you. Stop talking about that balance sheet. Quit telling us how a legal suit is going to end up. Quit being fucking right or I will kill you. That's what they say.
I know. It's crazy, dude.
So if you see me being a little hesitant about sharing actual useful information, you can thank all your friends out there in social media. The pink-pantied girly boys.
I mean, we'll eventually talk about it. It is what it is, right?
We're still doing some work, and well, let's just see what develops over the next couple of weeks. The red, red alert got when I put out that video saying that AMC was at a critical point at 407. We bounced off of that, Mediocre. Thank fucking God.
Thank God. I know. But that shit was, oh man. I remember we were like,
when we saw it
fucking brave, Tony.
when we saw it breaking down, let me put up, well, we can go back to the GameStop chart, but when we saw AMC breaking down into this green zone, I was like, holy fuck, what the hell's going on here? I like to buy, when it's here, and I've been waiting a long time for it to get down there. Come on. I've been waiting a long time for it to get in this zone, and I was buying. You can see, look, I bought September 3rd. I bought above this zone. September 20th, I bought above this zone just a little bit. I bought on 25th. I bought on 10.2. I bought on 10.7. I bought on 10.9. You guys think I'm not holding any AMC? I love to buy down in this zone, but when it broke under that zone, Mediocre, I was like, I wonder if I missed something. I don't like this. Now, I'm going to be okay, Mediocre, no matter what happens. All right? Because number one, I have a hedge in place in case the price tanks. So don't worry about me, guys. I'm going to be fine. Number two, I own IMAX and Marcus Theaters with a position size 3 times the size of my AMC, and they're both up 30 to 38%. So I'm going to be just fine no matter what happens with AMC. But I don't, Mediocre, you know me. I don't like being in the fucking red.
I know.
And I am in the red by a couple pennies right now on AMC. So when we crashed through this demand zone, I had to do a double check. Like I don't want to ride this thing down to $3. Now my hedge will protect me if it were to collapse. But I for everybody, for all of y'all, I don't want to see it go down to $3. So this was a critical bounce right here, and I'm glad that we got it.
Yeah, we needed that. When it broke that area, we were talking, and it was a group of us, and I said, why are they so fucking brave? Like, how do you push it down here, like fearlessly? Like that shit was getting to me, and so it forced me to do more DD. Tony, Rolf, a bunch of us put our heads together and started really looking. Which I don't really want to talk about that now, but I'm still here. I'm still in. I thought about exiting, but I didn't. We're good. I feel confident in what I'm doing. So
All right, Sparky, I see you having a conversation with someone, and I don't want to go back and read all the comments. Can you summarize what you guys are talking about? Somebody? Maybe I can scroll up here. You guys have been having a fast and furious conversation about something. And someone else asked about, was it GameStop you were asking about? I saw a comment flash by about the volume at the end of the day on, was it end of the day on the last 2 Fridays? Was that
I
a
think that was
GameStop
about
question?
AMC.
Huh?
I think it was about AMC.
AMC did not have a spike in volume at the end of the day, but I think GameStop has.
Oh, maybe I don't know. I haven't been tracking the chart, as you know.
I mean, it ran up to.
Oh, they were asking about block orders filled after hours, Tony.
After hours, okay.
Oh, they're talking about, remember that candle spike I showed you when it dropped down? And I said, what the hell just happened? And then
that one where it spiked down
yeah.
on AMC. Yeah, I don't think that showed up on the Webull chart.
No,
Maybe it's this one here, huh? 2.45 million shares after hours.
Yeah, there was a ticker.
Look here. Do you see this, Mediocre?
My head blocking. Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Just boom, 2.5 million shares show up. I don't know that I have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
I wish I did. You know, you guys know, if I had a strong opinion or a strong guess, I'd tell you. If I don't know, I'm just going to say I don't know. I'm going to grab a refill beer, Mediocre. Hang on.
Yeah, go for it. So there was 2 orders of 2.5 million shares, block orders this week. I don't know what to say about that other than, it could be dark pool trading. I really don't know. A lot of that stuff is done. I see a lot of that stuff at the end of the day. Like I noticed something that was unusual myself, and why it happened, I don't have an answer.
All right, I'm back. So Mr. Stevens, I think that's what you're talking about, right? These big spikes. I don't know what that is, honestly. I have theories. I have no basis to even back up my own theories, so I don't even know that it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I'm with you. When you have lack of information, that's key too, right? Like we're talking about stuff we have no information on.
What I'm not going to do is make a video and say it's crime or it's dark pools or Ken Griffin. Since I don't know, I'm just going to say I don't know. I'd love to know what it is.
But if there was some evidence that led us in a direction to say what it was, right, and not speculation, I would look at it 100%.
I have tried to look into it. Don't think that I haven't over the past year or two.
How far did you get?
I can't freaking find an answer. Maybe I'm just not asking the right people. Sparky says right after closed prints, don't think you can look up why. I just think that's what it is. I mean, that's basically what I've come up with, Sparky. And look, since the volume is not affecting the price typically, or even if it does, like Mediocre, that time you called it out to me, you saw that huge wick down. Yeah. In fact, no, we don't see it here. Like, what just happened? I just saw the price flash down, from $4.20 to $4, but then it goes right back up.
Yeah, but what was weird with that one is it fucking stayed there for a few seconds. Usually it happens quick and it's gone. but that didn't fucking happen. And then it was gone. By the time I said that to you, when I went to show you, the candle was gone. It was just a wick at that time. Which
Since it's not materially affecting the price,
right.
I tend to, like, on my priority of things to worry about, it's not high on my list. That's all I'm going to say.
Because what we always talk about here's the thing, people. If let's just say, for the sake of this argument, it was Ken Griffin and or Citadel or whoever you want to make it out to be, they did it with their money. Okay, if the SEC didn't find it illegal, then there's nothing you could do about it. Period. If they're using their money to control the market with their money, that's legal. I hate it too. I don't like it. I think there's manipulation. I'm on your side with that. I just don't think that there's much we as retail investors are going to be able to do about it without changing Congress and forcing Congress to do something. Because Congress is the only one that could do anything because they make the rules.
I'll tell you guys, I see you guys asking about TWG. I was watching it here in pre-market mediocre when it ran up. I've been looking for a good pre-market trade. TWG jumped from 216 to 330, and then it was at $4 by market open.
That looks like a nice trade.
And I looked at the news, and there was just nothing that convinced me to jump in on it. I was sitting here this morning, guys, drinking my coffee at 5 a.m., watching this shit, 6 a.m. And it fucking doubled again, mediocre. It went from 4 to 8. Now, to be fair, I was not here working most of the day. My only time really to trade was in pre-market today because we had the family activities going on for my uncle's birthday party. But holy hell, I would have loved to have a piece of that.
Yeah, I've been behind the windshield too much, moving around, so I haven't been at the trading station, which is somewhat annoying.
You've been doing real work, mediocre?
Yeah.
Out there knocking on doors to work on your trust fund?
That's right. Got to keep the trust fund going, you know what I mean?
I'm looking at the volume profile on here. I mean, this is a very... It would have been a trade that would make me nervous because if I'm looking at it on the 5-minute, although the candles are going up, the volume profile's going down. It's not my ideal type of day trade situation. But, I mean, you can't complain about the price action. I'd like to see, increasing price on increasing volume, ideally. I'm very picky about my day trades. This probably would not, I mean, although it's a fine gamble, I mean, if you want to play it, it's not my ideal setup. And then, man, look at that long walk all the way back down, almost round tripped all the way back to the opening price, and then ran up to $8.50. Fantastic opportunity. If you played that one and made money, kudos. Every morning I wake up and I'm looking at, you can see my, well, you probably can't see it because my head's in the way. What happened to mediocre? Did he drop off? Down here in the bottom right, I have the top gainers in pre-market. I'm always watching them, looking for anything with real news or worthwhile to shout out to the chat in Discord. And I was watching all of these this morning, and there was just nothing that I felt in confidence that was worth calling out to folks. If it was a perfect setup, I would definitely call it out. But I don't want to lead people over a cliff, Just because something's up 80% in pre-market doesn't mean it's a great trade.
Yeah, once they get up like that, I get nervous. I don't even want to enter. It's a risky. I want to get in when it's moving. You know what I mean? I have to see the chart at open and see what's going to happen.
But I am here every morning looking for them. I just haven't found anything fantastic for my risk profile recently. NASCAR says this week has been really slow for PR runners in the pre-market. It's been bad. Yeah. You have it's almost like this past week, especially, you had to own it before the news came out. Because all of them, if you are watching stuff like I am in pre-market, you know how it goes. They shoot up and then it's just a slow bleed out. And if you're trying to chase it at that point, you've just been slaughtered. And so I don't do those. Remember the days like a year ago, mediocre, where you'd have 300-400% runners?
Yeah.
Where are those days? I want some more of those. Every day I wake up, I'm like, maybe today's the day.
What was that one, HKD, that Chinese one?
Yeah, I mean, HKD's been in the news again lately. It got a little volume. It got a little run up here, mediocre. Look at this.
Oh, holy smokes.
It ran from 260 up to 580 over a period of days. And now it's doing the walk back down. But I looked at it. Don't think that I didn't. You go back and remember how this one went to 2,300.
You want to buy the dip, Tony? No, thank you.
Oh man, the good old days. When was this? 8/31/22. The good old days. Everything was running ridiculous amounts. I'd love to have those days back, guys. I'd be live streaming all day doing day trades with you if we could have these days back, but I can't find something worth my time to we're just not in that part of we're not in that timeline in the market. Those days will come back.
Yep. Hopefully.
Let's look at the GameStop chart here real quick. Let me zoom out. So let's go to the weekly. I got my supply zone and demand zone. It's been trading in these zones since May or June. You can see, look, I see people drawing arrows up and to the right. Mediocre. You know what they do on their TA? It's pretty funny. They'll go back to here, mediocre. Come on. They'll go back to when it was $2 back in 2020, and they'll draw an arrow and say, look, guys, this chart only goes one way, up and to the right. Have you ever done a TA like that, mediocre?
No.
Because why?
Because it's irrelevant.
It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Time frames, we're trading in the moment here,
Yeah, I can probably I'm thinking about like even this whole declining wedge we had here. Every day I look at my GameStop chart, I'm like, I probably should just delete this because we're in a new time frame, mediocre.
Yeah.
Everything about this play has changed. They have 4.6 billion in cash.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we're not going back down to $10.
Right, that wedge is useless right now.
I agree. And the company has added $3 billion of cash onto the balance sheet. I should what?
You should draw a new wedge.
All right. Should I just delete it right now?
I mean, you can.
Yeah, let's do that. Fuck this wedge. We're not in this wedge anymore. You can't go back to 3 years ago and try and connect the dots if you're doing real TA, if you know what the fuck you're doing. This is the only thing that matters right here.
Right, from that peak down, right, exactly.
This is what matters. And what matters is where we're at right now, the price action happening since let's say since April, all right, we were
Down
at $10, but that April doesn't matter anymore because the balance sheet has changed. The book value per share has more than almost tripled from $4 to $11. This is not the same company. So you need to rethink your TA. TA is not just about looking at a chart and drawing stupid arrows. You got to have a layer on top of it, understanding the fundamental value of the company. The problem is the GameStop people don't know how to analyze fundamental value. They think the fundamental value is $50. No. There's no earnings to justify $50 price target, but the fundamental value did shift up from 4 to 11.
Yeah.
So we need to rethink our TA. There's a new base. There's a new support fundamentally for this company. Unfortunately, if there's no news or there's no earnings, it's going to be driven down over time. Over time could be 3 months or a year. It's going to be driven down over time towards the fundamental value, which is just under $11. Things that could change that would be Roaring Kitty coming back, getting some FOMO going on, or Ryan Cohen and management announcing something, changing the fundamental analysis or creating FOMO. But if there's no news, this thing will be ground down, and you can see the trend. This is the only arrow you should be drawing. It's going down.
Yeah.
What I can't tell you is where's the support. You see my support. I have it drawn in this box. That is the support for GameStop.
What time frame you on right there?
I'm on the weekly, and I'm looking at like from May till now. There is demonstrated support between 1860 and $20.40. So that for now, that's the support, and I'm going to trade off of that. If my last two buys have been at 1934 and 1950, demonstrating I am practicing what I'm preaching to you guys. I don't have a $7 price target. I don't have a $10 price target. These fucking GameStop YouTubers lie to you about how I analyze or trade GameStop because they don't want you to listen to someone who's making money on this play. This, as far as I'm concerned, is the support unless it's broken, and then we got to redo it. So every time it dips down into this box, I'm a speculative trader. I like taking a little bit of risk. Like 90% of my stuff is tucked away in safe investments, but the other 10%, I'm having fun. This is, for me, a good speculative trade unless it breaks under this, in which case we reassess the plan.
Tony, is that purple line VWAP?
This purple line right here, or this one?
That one right there, yeah.
That is the EMA 13. The VWAP, I'd have to go to the daily or the 4 hours, sorry. Let me get rid of extended. The VWAP mediocre is this golden line right here. It's following the candles.
So you're below VWAP too?
I mean, it's been following the VWAP. But it's under all of the moving averages.
Yeah, it's under 13, then it's not bullish. It's downtrend.
There's not a lot bullish here, honestly.
Right. From a technical standpoint.
Yeah,
right?
from a technical standpoint. And if I was gonna draw an arrow, I've been trying to be very nice on my GameStop TA videos, but if I were to draw an arrow, it would be down and to the right. That's the only arrow that matters. And this is very obvious. I mean, you guys can see that, right? Anybody who's telling you otherwise is lying to you. Let me get rid of this overlay for a second. This is the trend, down and to the right. For the moment. And maybe that will change.
Exactly. Maybe.
I don't care what it does. This is the trend.
Yeah, maybe Ryan Cohen will say something and will reverse the trend. That'd be nice. We don't know, but maybe Warren Kitty comes back and says he shows a position that could reverse the trend, right? Like we don't know, but the trend is your friend. You have to understand what the trend is.
The reason I'm not making a big deal about it, mediocre, is because as long as it is ping-ponging between these two,
Agreed.
I'm cool with it. I want to be a buyer in this green zone and then cross my fingers as a speculative trader that we get a bounce back up to the top of this zone.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to do, guys. You can see I bought at 1934. I sold the next day at 2135. I made 10% in a day. Here I bought it 1950 and I sold 13 days later at 2172. Again, another 10% trade for a 2-week hold. That's fine. Those are good trades.
Tony, what do you think would happen if you? What would Ryan Cohen do? You think if we made it back up to that zone up there?
I mean, he's done 3 dilutions since May, mediocre. I would assume,
I
based
knew-
on demonstrated evidence, that if the price runs up, he's going to dilute some more. And I think you guys should be expecting that too.
I didn't mean to do that, Tony. I'm sorry.
No, but it's good to talk about. That's why I would want to be getting out. If there's a push up, especially a push up above this supply zone, I'm going to be selling just like I did here in June. I sold at 60 and I didn't sell all of it at 60. I wish I would have. I woke up the next fucking morning and he had announced dilution. I was like, how fast can I get out of this shit? And I lost almost $20 because of that damn dilution. Not lost, but I mean, lost $20 of profit. I was in at $29, mediocre.
Yeah.
He stole $20 of my profit.
Like Willy Wonka says, you stole fizzy lifting drinks. You stole fizzy lifting drinks from all you shareholders. Oh, God. My dad loves saying that shit.
He stole
God,
fizzy lifting drinks. Is that what it's called?
Fizzy lifting drinks, yeah. That's a Willy Wonka chocolate factory deal.
Mediocre, I saw a survey on Twitter, and I'm just curious, you guys in the chat. I'm going to put up a poll. I saw a poll on Twitter. It said, if Ryan Cohen resigned from GME, would this impact your decision to sell or hold? All right. I'm just curious, my audience. I'm going to throw that poll up right now in the chat. I want to see what you guys think. If Ryan Cohen decided to resign, move on, step away from the company, step back, I'm just going to be on the board. I'm not going to be the CEO. Or if he just left completely.
To be clear, this is just a poll.
Yeah, I'm just curious to compare my audience answers to what I saw on Twitter this week. All right. Stockland Trade says, is Lone Star beer any good? No. It's kind of like Natty Light. Stockland. Mediocre, what was it I was talking about? How I change my meals depending on if it was a good trading week or not, just to punish myself or reward myself.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
What was it? What was it that we were talking about? It's a ribeye week or a chicken thigh week.
Yes.
All right. If you want to translate that to alcohol, it could be a Lone Star weak or a what's a premium craft beer mediocre.
Oh, I don't know.
Pick your favorite premium craft beer. Lone Star would be the week that you have a shitty week trading. You're gonna go buy some Lone Star, or buy some Natty Light.
I always drink. Yeah, Natty Light's probably the shittiest beer.
It's not great stuff, but I tell you what, in Austin, I've bought Lone Star because it makes me feel like a Texan. But like my wife will be out, when we go out dancing, she'll like, I want a shot of what's that fucking cinnamon drink? Fireball. All right, $10. I say I want that 16-ounce Lone Star, $1.99. I was like, winning.
When I was in high school, I used to pay a guy to go get me beer, and but I didn't have much money. But I remember I'd get a case of Golden Anniversary for fucking $10 back in the day. Shit.
Mediocre. When I was in college, we had a country western bar here that when you got there early, it was like 69 cents a beer until someone went into the men's room.
No. Did they have spittoons on the floor? Bet you those were fucking full.
There was some alarm or something on the men's room door that would flash lights. I forget. I mean, this was 20, 30 years ago, maybe 40 or 50. Fuck if I remember. I'm old. But they would always, people would get mad at that fucking small bladder dipshit that went in the bathroom.
Go in that bathroom.
You fucking go outside, pee in your car or something. I don't care. Don't you fucking open that men's room door.
You open that men's room door, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. I can imagine the conversations. Bet you there's a big motherfucker blocking the door, too.
We had another place here in Austin called Dallas Nightclub, which I used to haunt back in the days. And when I was working my corporate job, Mediocre, we'd go there right after work. When I worked on first shift, we'd go there right after work because they'd have 69-cent beers till about 9 o'clock at night. So we'd be going over there at 5 o'clock. They'd have a free fucking buffet of food and 69-cent beers. And then till about 9 p.m., maybe 8, I forget. And then it was $1.69 till about 10 o'clock. And then they became like $5 a piece. But I remember, we were young and stupid. We'd be sitting there with 4 beers, The girl's like, do you want to dance? I'm like, I got 4 long necks here. I can't dance right now. If I put them down, someone's going to steal them. Drop a cigarette butt in them.
Yeah.
That place eventually, they got targeted by the TABC because too many people were leaving that place drunk. And of course you would, because you're buying 4 beers at a time for 69 fucking cents right before they ring the bell and say, oh, Elvis has left the building. That was the code word that the clock had ticked and no more 69 cents.
Even when
Elvis has left the building.
Even when I go to the casino, Tony, say I'm with a group of people and I go up to the bar, I want to buy 6 drinks. They won't sell me 6 drinks.
You got to show up with 6 people, right?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Well, it's changed like that in Texas now because of bars getting in trouble, because of so many DWIs. I never know if I should call it a DUI or a DWI, but I mean, this place was famously targeted by the cops. They would just sit out there and wait because they knew people were getting hammered in there.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let me grab another beer. I'll be right
back. All
back.
right. Speaking of that, let's have a drink. We're all sitting in the safety of our homes. So VRO's Trade says, I drink twisted tea. I might have tried one of those one time. Not something on my regular buy list, but I don't remember it being awful. Anya says, when I went to college, 10 small glasses of beer were $1. What was that like in the 1830s, Anya? 10 beers for $1? Come on, for real? Generation X says, hang on. He says, this is a timed event. They have to keep it from exploding till the time of the explosion. Relax, enjoy, and Trump 2024. He gave us executive orders for the first 2 run-ups. All right. I do hope Trump wins. Sorry, Anya. Don't hate. This is not a political channel. We're not going to go down that political route, but VRO says, my AMC bartender gives me 2 drinks at once when I go alone. My AMC bartenders, guys, let's just be real. I go to a lot of movies. We were at the movies over 15 times in the last 30 days. And I mean, I only order 1 drink typically when I go to the bar, when I go to a movie, but they all know me because there's so much. And when we went to go watch, what did we watch? Real late night in the past week or so. I forget what it was, but it was a really long movie. And I'm going to look it up while I'm talking. As we were sitting there, it was the one that my wife fell asleep in, Joker 2.
Oh, yeah, Joker.
As about halfway through the movie, I was already done with my beer. I was like, I'm going to go grab another one before it gets too late, because it was already like 11. And I come out, concessions was closed. All the bar stools were up on the bar, but the bartender was still there. And I was like, can I please just have, can you pour me a Sam Adams Oktoberfest? She's like, I'll do anything for my favorite customers. I was like, wow. This girl knows us because we're there all the time. And, you know, you don't forget a crazy redhead. And she also, this lady likes movies. So I love it when my bartenders like movies.
Is she a member of the channel, Tony?
I think she is now. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Two of the bartenders are now viewers of the channel. So shout out if y'all ever see this. She did pour me another drink. Bless her heart. She opened the cash register back up and ran my cards. So I do love it that they, you know, if you go there often enough, the employees are invested enough in good customer service that they remember you. And the one up in Lakeline Mall, the guy mediocre is not only a bartender, he's an AMC investor. And when he sees me over there ordering popcorn, he's already pouring my drink. I don't even need to go walk to the bar. He already knows what I'm going to order.
How many of these guys you got on your channel?
I mean, I've never seen them in the comments, but
how would you know?
They probably say, hey, Tony, I'm that bartender.
They'd be like, hey, Tony DeNaro, you'll know. Oh, man.
All right, what time is it? It's 9:45. We got a little time. The show that I want to go watch tonight is at 10:45. The movie. I got to go wake my wife up. She's taking a late afternoon nap. It's already 9:45.
How you doing, baby UFO?
Baby UFO, aloha. What other questions y'all got now that I've kind of gone over what I wanted to talk about with the GameStop yellow flag. We've talked about the charts on GameStop and AMC. We talked about day trading a little bit. We talked about the other movie stocks that I own. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube talking about all of the other stocks that I own. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll do a year-end recap of everything that I own and how it did. How do I pick what I talk about? Blue chip stocks, to be honest, are mostly very boring plays. So why would I make a video about them every day? I'm holding these things for 1, 2, 5 years. It's just not that interesting to anybody you're holding a stock that you think you're going to make 20% over the next 12 months. Who the fuck cares? People want to know how can I make $1 million tomorrow? So we focus a lot on the speculative stocks on this channel. Number one, because they're fun. Number two, because I trade them. Number three, because there is an insane amount of misinformation and clickbait on them. And that really upsets me.
Tony, tell them how much money I make in my trust fund. You know what I mean? Like it's
Million,
easy.
probably millions, allegedly.
Yeah, it's easy to make $1 million in the market, Tony.
I heard that you were trying to stop making gains because you were gonna hit a certain tax bracket or something.
I was trying to slow down so I didn't pay too much tax. That is a true statement.
It's a first world problems, mediocre.
Yeah, but the millionaire part is joking. That's just being sarcastic, people. Believe me.
VRO says, my AMC bartender wanted me to notice him to say what's up to each other when I walking in late to see Terrified Truth 3. And when I came out from the second, he asked me if I wanted a Sam Adams October also. Are you in Texas? I wonder if we have the same bartender. Anya says INTC is pretty interesting right now. Let's take a look at INTC, Anya. I do own some Intel. I haven't looked at it. I don't even look at my long-term holds that often, but I'll show you. I have my position up on here.
After this too.
Huh?
Look up NVIDIA after this too, because I was supposed to check on that and I didn't.
All right. So I have Intel at 1923 and 2067. And this is a long-term hold for me. Like I bought this for a 5-year hold at least. I'm in the green by a little bit. What is that? By about 10%, 15%. And there's still some downside risk on Intel. But I like buying good companies when they get beat up. And what's the recent high on Intel in 2021 was $62. How far could it fall? I mean, it could fall a long way.
Oh, that's Gus's cousin, Tony.
Huh?
That's Gus's cousin. He's in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
VRO? Okay.
He goes to Tennessee to AMC.
Yeah, Intel is one of those ones, Anya, where, if it keeps falling, as long as I don't think they're going bankrupt or something, then I'll probably keep adding over time. I think over 5 or 10 years, I'll probably be okay. I don't make a lot of videos about Intel because I don't know that we're at the bottom here. If you're in the Discord, I own it. If you're on my YouTube, I don't talk about every stock that I own.
What about Hershey, Tony?
Let's see how Hershey's doing. That's another one that I own. Haven't even looked at it in a month, mediocre. I bought it in April at 183. It ran up to a high of 208, and it's at 185 right now. So I'm barely in the green, mediocre. This is another very long-term play, and downside, if we go back all the way to 2020, $123. But I'm hoping that I got in at the bottom here of this local cycle, unless the market crashes, in which case I'm sure it'll go lower. So this is another one of those blue chip plays where I establish a position. I'm not loading the boat. I'm trying to diversify my portfolio in good companies that are getting beat up. And I don't know that I caught the bottom here. So not loading the boat. I'm buying some. And if it tanks another 10 or 15% below 183, I would add some more. And if I start seeing that the company's turning around or that cocoa prices are coming down, then I might load up more in this zone. But I have not bought any extra since April. It's just one of many stocks that I'm holding and watching, and I don't even watch it that often, honestly. It's a long-term hold for me.
What's NVIDIA look like today?
NVDA, let's see.
Oof. Ouch.
So they got spanked.
I mean, it looks good. I'm only saying, oof, ouch, because
I
my father
mean,
lost the shares today.
actually, they didn't get spanked. What am I looking at? I got distracted by the time in sales. They're fucking doing fine, mediocre.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
I do not own any NVIDIA because I consider it to be overpriced, but Intel is kind of like my NVIDIA. It's my NVIDIA play.
My father's in it, and so I've been trying to gradually take him out, but he's been doing very good in it. So I can't really. You gotta let him do what he's gonna do. He does good.
Forward PE of 47, mediocre, which is better than the trailing PE of 63. I can't remember if I own any AMD or not. Let me look at the chart.
I remember when that was like $40.
Yeah.
I was in it. I didn't hold it.
I don't see any notes on here. Oh, wait, there is a note there. Can you see it in purple? Apparently, I do own some AMD. I can't even remember what all I own. So I bought AMD at 155 and 133, mediocre.
Nice. I was in it at 40 and exited at like 45. And I said, it'll come back or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact price. I'm just saying it was really low before it had that major run back up here.
This is how little I look at these stocks. I don't even remember if I own them. It's a 5 or 10 year play for me. What are the ones we look at all day, every day, mediocre? The ones with the highest risk and the highest volatility.
Exactly. High volatility, the ones that are, could really mess you up if you're not paying attention. What about JetBlue?
I do not own any JetBlue. I'm not a big fan of airlines, but we can pull it up.
You see that?
672.
You know why?
What happened?
Spirit's going bankrupt.
Ah, well, I mean, that's a nice trade. 477 to 765. What? Oh, I was gonna say IMAX. I own some IMAX. I bought it on the dip. Not the perfect bottom. I did not get in at 1320. I own it at 1520 and 1499. It's trading at 2169. So, and like I was saying earlier, when I bought these, I made a note up here to myself that I had a 12-month price target from June of it hitting 2125. And it hit it in July, August, September. It hit it in 3 months. It hit it in 2 months. Hit my 12-month price target in 2 months. And now, since I see the industry doing so well, I don't even want to sell up here, mediocre.
I hear you.
IMAX is profitable. They're growing. They have a backlog on installations. They have the highest number of IMAX movies ever being filmed in 2025. The box office revenue is only about a third of their income. They get a lot of income from installing new facilities and licensing their technology and their cameras. This is a fantastic alternate or additional investment if you're following the movie industry. Why not buy one that's profitable? I love AMC for the speculative value. It's a gamble, yes, but I have this, and I have MCS, which is another theater company, which I'm up pretty good on. I bought it at $11.55, and it's trading at $16.
Why'd you buy it, Tony? Is it because of the box office?
Because of the financials and the box office, both. Look at that. From the day I fucking bought it, mediocre, up and to the right. I mean, that is a true up and to the fucking right, mediocre.
Yeah.
What is not a up and to the right? This shit right here. Not. No. No spinning here. We can all see that chart, and we can all see this chart. One of them is up and to the right. One of these things is not like the other. This is why, mediocre, you diversify. Now, some of these dipshits will call diversification diversification. It's only diversification if you're an idiot and picking other bad stocks. Like if everything in your portfolio looks like this, yeah, that's a bad idea, bros. Pick some good stocks, guys. Hang out in the Discord. We'll throw some ideas at you. We'll toss you a bone. We're looking all day, every fucking day. I don't even have a real job anymore, mediocre. I'm already retired. What else I got to do but find good stocks that look like this? And then give a heads up in my Discord about what I'm fucking buying.
You guys should jump into the voice channels in the Discord. I'll come in and talk to you guys. I don't care. We can have fun. I'm down.
All right, let's see what the results of the poll say, mediocre. If Ryan Cohen resigned from GameStop, would this impact your decision to sell or to hold? And the results are 52% say yes, it would affect your decision. Now, on social media, when the GameStop people asked that, if I recall, it was about 2/3 said, no, of course not. I would still hold if Ryan Cohen left the company. I don't know if I believe them. That's why I wanted to run the poll here. I don't believe them. I think that they are just trying to grasp onto any positivity they have. Of course, I believe in GameStop, the long-term value. But we all know that 99% of the reason that people are in GameStop is because of Ryan Cohen. Why else would you be in a company that has a 10-year history of declining revenues if not for your belief in the one man that can turn it around? If I'm trading it, that's why I'm in it. I'm going to be blunt, straight up honest with you. If I'm holding GameStop, it's only because I think Ryan Cohen can turn it around. If he fucking leaves, I'm out. So I do not believe that social media poll. I think that those people are liars. At least some of them. Anya says, show GCT. Anya, you're giving away all our secrets here. GCT has been under a bit of pressure, though, lately, hadn't it? I got my initial position on GCT, just my toe in the water at 25.76. I added more, a bigger amount at 22.72. And then I really added at 18.39. And lucky for me, at least based on the weekly chart, that appears to be the bottom. As you guys know, if you're in my Discord or you're watching this channel, when I first go in on these companies, I'm not trying to load up on my first buy, especially look at this chart. You don't know that that's the bottom there, but I had drawn this red line at $27. And I said, if it drops under 27 on a big dip, I'll consider buying some. So I grabbed a little bit, and then if it drops 10 or 15% more, I'll dip a little bit more in the water. And I did that here, but this was where I really went in on it. And so I'm in the green on that one. and we've been on 1, 2, 3 weeks of green. The analysts have like a $50 price target on this stock. So if that comes to fruition, and I can't tell you that it will, then $18 will be a good buy. This is probably my least conviction play, just to be blunt. My lowest conviction play, GCT, Giga Cloud Tech. So I'm not going to be adding as it runs up. I'm just going to sit with what I got. And if I can get out at, look, I drew this green line up here where I'd like to get out, $58. I don't know if that'll happen or not. We'll play it by ear, Anya. You bought some too, Anya?
That's a good question, Stockland. I like that question.
Are people in the AMC from Adam Aaron's Stockland Trades? I am not.
I am not either.
No. I'm in AMC. Look, let's be blunt. What's his name? Mediocre? Sean Goodman?
Yes.
Sean Goodman's the man behind the curtain pulling the strings and the levers.
Absolutely.
Adam Aaron is the front man, the one that takes the bullets, the arrows in the back.
Yeah, Sean Goodman is the guy in The Wizard of Oz behind the curtain there. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. That's Sean Goodman.
I don't care if Adam Aaron leaves. Some people think it would be bullish if he leaves. I don't care. And I've argued with people on social media about this, and the invitation remains open now, going on for almost 2 years. If you're an accredited, degreed accounting or finance professional, I want to have you on as a guest on this channel. You will need to provide all your credentials before you come on. I want to have an interview with you. If you think that any executive team would come in and do anything differently, people say, fire Adam Aaron, fire the board. Tell me what anybody else would do differently. The balance sheet is fucked. The company is hostage to Hollywood, which is putting out shit movies, and not enough of them, so they can't be profitable. So what could they do differently other than file Chapter 11 or raise cash until the box office recovers enough, which should be 2025 or 2026? They've done a lot to repair the balance sheet. And box office is growing. It's been survival for the last 3 years. What would any executive team do different? I will go to the fucking mat. Nobody would do anything different. And if you're not an accounting or finance degreed professional, I don't want your opinion, because you are talking from a perspective of emotion, most likely, because you don't like what they did. But there's literally no other, few options that they could do. What are you going to do? You're bleeding cash. The creditors are breathing down your neck. They have covenants where they can force you into bankruptcy. What are you going to do? You're going to raise cash. They've done exactly what they should do. It's up to us to decide every day if we want to remain in the play or not. That's your choice. That's my choice.
That's right.
No one's forcing you to hold.
Right, your portfolio is on you. You know, if you're holding it, it's on you.
Mediocre. I went back again this week to the 2020 10K before any of you were invested. You know what it said, Mediocre?
What did it say?
It said that our liquidity.
Hold on. Are you going to tell me what the growing concerns were?
I'm going to tell you what the risk factors were in the first part of the 10K. Before any of you were in this play, it said, due to our liquidity concerns, it is likely that we are going to dilute, and it could affect the value of your shares. You may lose money. It went on to say that we may issue preferred shares, which could impact the value of your common shares. 2020. There was
Right.
no criminality here. There was nothing that was not communicated. The problem is these conspiracy theorists talking about everything being illegal have never one time read one of the company documents. Everything that the company did was part of their plan and clearly communicated in SEC filings every quarter since 2020. If you didn't do that, if you didn't read that, that is on you. I was there with you guys hoping for a second squeeze, but at
Yeah.
some point when that second squeeze didn't happen and the economy started tanking and AMC's running low on cash, you better fucking start paying attention to the financial statements and the filings, because they're going to do what they disclosed in the risk factors. That was always clearly delineated as this could happen to you. Everything that they did, they told you they were going to do. What was illegal about that? Nothing. And that's, people hate me. People want to show up at my house and shoot me at my front door because I've been telling you guys that for 2 years. But this is the fucking honest truth. It's all there in the filings. Just read them. Just read them.
And if you don't know how to read them or you don't understand them, right, get around a group of people who understand and will help you through, read that and understand what's being said in those documents, right? And those people don't have to be perfect, but at least if they're reading the documents and have a good idea what's going on, you know, you could do some due diligence. You know what I mean? You could look some things up. I look at everything now. I don't care what it is.
I've made you a believer, huh, mediocre?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know everything.
Yeah, I spend a lot less time on blue chip companies worrying about that stuff. But when you're in a speculative play, you better read the damn documents. You should read. Corax says, I figured it would crash. What are we talking about, Corax? Oh, Tesla. I watched that event last night. My wife watched it with me. She's like, why are you so excited about this? I was like, because she had just gotten home from yoga and HEB, and she was like wanting to talk. You know how wives are. Love you. I was like, babe, I've been waiting an hour for this damn live stream to start from Elon. Can you just watch it with me and then we can talk? And she got really into it. She's like, wow, and wow, and wow. Look at the robo-taxi and the robo-bus and the robots. But then the market, you know, the technology was cool, but how do you turn that into revenue was a little bit light. And so the market didn't really like that today. So I was talking to family today and my wife and maybe people in the Discord. I think in the Discord, I dropped some comments like last time I bought Tesla was at $100. So I'm not too hot at buying it at recent prices, but if it comes back down, I might be a buyer. I'm a believer in the long-term vision of Tesla, but I think you need to be very self-aware, critical, like don't buy into the hopium. There's going to be some sweet opportunities to buy on dips. And that's what I'm waiting for. I waited a year to buy Tesla at 100 or whatever the fuck I bought it at. Let me pull up the chart.
Yeah, pull it up because I need to see where it's at. I haven't looked at it. But if there's an opportunity, we might have to take advantage of that. I know Rolf likes to take advantage of that. He's pretty good with it. So
my like ideal levels mediocre here on the just the Fibonacci would be 200 or 180. That would get my interest. This was when I bought back in 2022 when it dropped to
180. I'll wait. I'll wait and hope and pray.
Now I have traded GameStop, both shares and options, even day trading options on it because of the volatility. But that, I mean, you could be literally playing with fire.
Yeah, with that, this stock is crazy, dude.
You
That's
could
why I
be
don't play
playing with,
options.
like Colin Gladman. I've watched him make a lot of money on very excellent calls on call options on GameStop. And I think he went long before this event. And I saw he posted today he lost $230,000 on call options because of the red. And that he's a smart trader. He has good risk management. He can trade out of a $230,000 loss. So I'm not worried about him. But this will fucking eat your lunch. And that I would personally never risk that much on an option play. But I've also seen him have days where he makes $80,000 gains. Like, I like speculating, but not, I mean, that's just like, bro, your next level degenerate. I love it.
I would never. That's, not good risk management, I would have to say, Tony.
That's his choice, and he can do whatever he wants. And, I'm not going to criticize him.
Tony, I've been accused of not using good risk management, but
I know.
Yeah, I use good risk management, Tony. You know that, right?
Anya says it sounds like Tesla is getting out of EVs. I don't know, Anya. Did any of y'all get that from the thing? Correct says for now the vast majority of revenue is coming from cars. That is what the company is, right? You got, for short-term traders, like how I think of it, what's the revenue stream versus the growth potential versus the valuation look like from now till 2027, let's say. That's how I'm thinking. And I know, Corex, you're thinking the same thing. Like, Tesla has, at these levels, to me, I'm not a buyer up here. It's too overvalued. I'll buy all day the cheaper it gets, because I am a long-term. I like Elon. I like Tesla. They're the only fucking profitable company out there in EV. But look at this PE ratio, 95. That is insane. That is a huge wager that the market is making on the future profitability of Tesla. And when they don't convey to investors a delineated strategy of how they're going to monetize these robo-taxis and robots in the next 2 years, 95 PE ratio is going to get punched down to a more normal valuation. That's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with that unless you bought at 260 or 300. You're probably going to get crushed. You can see I have alarms for myself to start paying attention at 200 and 178. Doesn't mean I'm buying there, but I'm going to start paying attention.
At it.
I will begin taking a look at it, Mediocre.
That's right. Forex wants to come on here and have a conversation, or no?
No, we're about to wrap up, Mediocre, because I got to go see if my wife wants to go to a movie at 10:45. It's 10:20 here now. Woo! Guys, thank you for hanging out. If you are late getting here, what was the main point of this live stream? I'm going to throw it up on the screen one more time for the latecomers. Let me get this chat off of here. Let me put the screen share back up one more time. And welcome if you're getting here late. This is what we were talking about. Mark Robinson and Daniel Moore, October 10th and October 7th. 2 insider sales of GameStop, not related to taxes, not related to withholding taxes from RSUs. Those RSU withholding sales happened on October 2nd for both of these gentlemen. These were new sales. small amount, relatively, 51,000 for Mr. Moore, 229,000 for Mr. Robinson. Although we did note that Mr. Robinson in the last year has dropped his total holdings from 81,000 shares down to 43,000. You can see here his position October 2023, 81,000 shares. He's cut his position in half. I'm not telling you how to think about it. You make up your own mind. What I said over the last couple of years is, since we did not do a good job of paying attention in 2021 when AMC Insider sold, that I would never not point this out to you again, that I would never not take it seriously. And if you're in my Discord, you know, every time, if it's a stock we're following, any ticker, if I see an insider sale, I notify you guys. We're not picking on GameStop. This is my normal MO. Mediocre, you probably know in other plays that I've called out to you guys, insider sales, heads up.
But Tony, we just, on a comedic side, I'm just going to say, we just want to let you guys know what insiders are paper-handed bitches.
Mark and Daniel are paper-handed bitches. Larry and Ryan are the diamond hands. Larry and Ryan, Larry's been buying. Ryan, we haven't heard from him. He ain't done no buys in a long ass time. But yeah, so make of it what you will. I just want to, do the DD and share with you, because there is some misinformation. These were not tax related sales. These were people selling shares, and you can make your own conclusions about whether it's important to you or not. And, again, I'm not picking on GameStop. I do this for all tickers that we're invested in or watching. The only reason we're talking about it on GameStop is because there are people out there saying right now this was tax related. I don't like fake DD. I don't like fake news. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, also the other thing that we commented on at the beginning of the stream is there are no executives in this company. They've been through 3 CFOs in the last couple of years. They don't even have a CFO right now. They've got a principal financial officer, and he's selling. Daniel Moore. The COO, Nir Patel, fired. So the company is Ryan, Daniel, and Mark, and 2 of them are selling. You guys do whatever you want with that info. I'll still be buying if it drops in my buy zone, and I will have a plan to exit if it drops through my buy zone. I will have a plan to exit. I'm not married to this stock. I don't care what you guys do with it. I just will tell you what I'm doing, and I'm a trader of the stock, not a traitor, a trader. I've been trading this stock profitably for 2 years.
Although some would want to believe that you are a trader too.
Yeah, I know. They lie about me. They lie on me all the time, mediocre.
Yeah.
I just want to buy it cheap and sell into run-ups. And if it drops below, sorry, I thought I had the screen up here. Share. If it dropped, I bought it 1934, sold the next day. I bought it 1950, sold 13 days later. I'll buy again if it drops down in this green zone. The lower it goes, the better I feel. But if it drops under this, I will probably have an exit strategy and see where it bottoms out. I do not think that it's going to $7 or $10. Don't let these damn pumpers lie to you about what I say. I've never one time given a price target for GameStop. I'm only looking for a good entry and then a following good exit. The book value is $11. The fundamental value is $11. That is the value of GameStop until they have earnings. The fundamental value of GameStop is $11. That does not mean it's my price target. Just something I keep in the back of my head so that I know, hey, I know I'm overpaying for it up here, but I know people love this stock and I know it's highly volatile. And that is exciting to me for the potential opportunity if I can buy cheap and sell into run-ups. But if that support of the community breaks down and we start getting crushed by shorts, then I'm going to step aside, because I can always come back the next day or the next week or the next month when things stabilize. That's all. That is all. Mediocre, you got any closing thoughts?
Not really. Just that I'm gonna try and put out a couple of videos this weekend, at least one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channels. Jump into Discord. Come chat with us. We'd love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we're in voice chat just about 24 hours a day.
And if we're not in there, just jump in there. We'll see you in there. We'll jump in.
Yeah, if we see you in a voice chat, we'll jump in. I'm up every morning, guys, at 4 or 5 in the morning, typically, and I'm chatting with folks till 10, 11, 12 o'clock every night, unless we got family stuff going on. And I do have family stuff going on this weekend, so I won't be around as much. But I'm glad I got to hang out with you guys for a little bit tonight and talk about the GameStop news, and we'll be around this weekend. I do have some other projects I'm working on. Someone asked me a very good question about Cinemark. Like, where could their revenue top out? I don't know. I never really thought about that question, but it's something I'm going to be looking at. We spent a lot of time this week digging deep into AMC's forecast for the next 14 months. I don't know that I'm ready to share all that on YouTube yet. If you guys are just joining in, I have already talked about it in the Discord all week, starting on Wednesday. But I like I said earlier, I can only take so many death threats per day. I don't know if social media is ready to hear what we got to say. I had to pull back. I had to pull back a lot of my coverage on AMC, both from the pumpers wanting to kill me and the conspiracy popcorn project people wanting to kill me. I just had to say, this ain't worth it. I like the stock. It's been a great trade this year, but I ain't ready to die over it. Too much facts coming out of this channel. People can't handle it on either side. They can't handle it. You can't handle the truth.
People should worry about their own portfolios, Tony.
Yeah, I just talk about what I'm doing and what I'm seeing, Mediocre. Doesn't affect you. If you don't like it, don't listen.
I agree, Tony. Oh, God, I don't understand it.
I don't know, Mediocre. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We're going to send you out with the long form of the music, because I know some of y'all like the songs. Mediocre, thank you for your time. Go give Mediocre Trader a sub on YouTube. Watch some of his latest videos. You still got the funny one up, Mediocre?
It's still up there, yeah.
All right. Give him some views. Watch some of his videos. He promises he's going to start putting out a little more content.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go see if I can convince Scarlett to go see the late showing of Terrifier 3 tonight. So we will.
That movie.
Huh?
I said, you guys enjoy that movie.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next one. We'll be around.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. my enemy. You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.